We certainly felt that this was a classic in the making that was going to stand the test of time. And it was going to bring him to heights that, none of us could probably imagine. No matter how much time passed, it's still just as vivid. And it's just as vivid as when he's performing it in front of the National Symphony Orchestra. I think I got a little weepy, actually, because it had been, a long 20 years. And it had been a struggle to make that album. And when it was finished, it was a work of perfection, I think. And to have it recognized in that way was astonishing to me. He was living in a dangerous place, and there were incidents that happened that could have turned really bad for him, and I was trying to get him to move away from that, which I knew he would. If this record came out, it was going to change his life. He's not an in-your-face kind of MC. He lays back in the cut, observing his surroundings and turning that into songs in a way that he could be talking to you. He would be very picky with the beats that he chose, but I think that he always had a vision as to, he knew the track before he heard the track. He just needed them to come with it. I got called to the president's office and them saying, sorry, can't have this. Not what we signed up for. And me having to fight to say, you gotta stick with him because it'll be worth it in the end. My first trips to the bridge were going to meet Nas, meeting his mom. I told her that he had an amazing future and the record was getting done and he was going to change people's lives. I didn't want her to think that there were any hiccups along the way. I wanted her to know that things were flowing and things were moving and things were happening at the record label and people were paying attention and the marketing people were getting ready to go and radio promo was getting ready to go and people were excited about it and excited about him. So yeah, I felt like I needed to keep my promise to her. We intended on having at least 12 songs. The album got bootlegged, and I mean across the globe bootlegged. It was everywhere. It was an emergency. It was like, we can't let this happen, and we just ramped it up, got it out. I think if it didn't matter if it had sold 10 copies or 100,000. It was still a perfect album. And it all came together, and to see it on a stage like that was phenomenal. 30 years. Goodness gracious. Oh, wow. This is incredible. To see it in that kind of venue just brings it into a whole new audience and sonically into a whole new space. There was definitely a huge Nas fan contingent in the building. Knew every word to every song. They talk about the Great American Songbook. This is a part of the Great American Songbook.
In all the story where my people come back black, I'm living where the nights is jet black. The fiends fight to get cracked. I just smacked a dream.